Hey, hold on, Hannah. Emma, could you pause that? Wait, hold on. Never mind. See, I'm forgetting while Emma watches Psych in the other room. I can just close my door. So anyway, Hannah, hi. I just want to say first, I'm sorry for not uploading that video. So I put it on YouTube and I thought it was working, but no, apparently not. Also, man, it's like I felt like I had a bunch of stuff to talk about, but oh yeah. So me and Emma just got finished watching this incredible, amazing, odd documentary. So I was just flipping through, kind of bored, and I proclaimed it my turn to choose what to watch on Netflix. So I found this thing called George Lucas versus the Fans, I believe, something along those lines. I gotta say there were some scenes that in the middle where, it was just some cussing and stuff that kind of bothered me, but once I skipped through that, I realized that it was an amazing thing. It was basically going through why George Lucas made the fans angry and if that was really something to be angry about. And I gotta admit, after seeing that, and I won't give away the whole thing in case you want to watch it sometime, but there are a few F-bombs from the angry fans. But from it, I have since I was kind of looking at both sides of the argument, I have sort of a newfound respect for George Lucas. Because, you know when you're a little kid and you hear what your parents say and you're like, yeah, that's right, and I'm gonna proclaim it. Kind of like I was always like, yeah, Rod Smith is the best, even though I didn't know who Rod Smith was, what position he played, why he was so awesome, and I barely even understood football at that age. I still thought that since Papa thought he was great, I should think he's great too. And I kind of feel that way with Star Wars now. With, how I feel about him carrying on the Star Wars. Now, and this is kind of going to go onto a long conversation, but I'm not going to say that he did everything perfect. He made a bunch of big mistakes, but a lot of these things are just angry fans acting up and just things that really it's not as bad as they show. First of all, it was showing how first, it was describing how he sort of changed the series from his original things to the new things, and they're saying, "Oh my gosh, Jar Jar Binks, you suck." And to be honest, I'm kind of on the fence with Jar Jar Binks. He amuses me a slight bit. He plays his role in the plot, and it also got me thinking about characters and stories. And so after I once, there ones. Wow, good grammar, William. I should stop doing videos at 10:54 in the evening. Anyway, um, dude, I'm just fun. Oh yeah, so it made me think you shouldn't have a comic relief unless it's an actual sort of light story, or if the comedy relief plays a role. And and that made me sort of think because all the supposed comedy reliefs, C-3PO, R2-D2, Jar Jar, uh, Chewbacca to some extent, they all actually had a purpose and they had a use. Chewie was like the Gus to Han Solo's Sean, and you know, Jar Jar, even though a lot of people hate him, he actually played a role in making the Senate continue, leading the Gungan army against droids, and it actually had some use. Though I think George Lucas could have done better on a lot of the story, and I'm not going to get into that. This is already going to be a long video. Wow, it already is. Speaking of which, Hannah, I think I'm going to keep my videos near 5, but with episodes like this, after seeing a cool documentary, they're probably going to pass that. I just like to keep it that way. But anyway, as I was saying before, another thing that went by is, so all those people, when they were lined up to see the Phantom Menace, they were like, because there was no Star Wars for, I don't know, I think it was, I'm terrible with years because I don't remember when it came out. I think it was 10 years maybe, no new Star Wars movies, though I'm probably wrong on the number. I think I'm too high. I'm just so confused tonight. Anyway, so, well, but when they got to it, they were like, oh my gosh, he ruined the series, how could he do this? But an interesting point was brought up in it, is that when you were watching Star Wars, they were all kids. The generation's like, Star Wars, cuss yeah. I just said cuss yeah. I went Fantastic Fox on you. But anyway, there were so many extreme fans out there because they were kids, and that was something that was new and it was crazy. It was amazing. And when you're a kid, you realize, and when you're adults, young adults, getting out of childhood, you realize how much you hold on to those things that formed you into the wonderful person that you are today. Anyway, but when you look at that, it seems to affect how you should think of things, and you're just stuck in that time, and I think that sort of stifled the creativity of the fans. It made them be like, it made them just so angry at the new series because it's like, well, it's so much different from that. And it's like they're holding on to that childhood, but they don't realize that they're adults now, and it's not going to be the same. And if they actually did some studies, they interviewed a bunch of kids, and they realized the kids loved it. And I remember when I was like, I don't know, 7 and even 12. I think 12 was when I finally got out of watching the third Star Wars movie every night because I thought it was the best thing ever. Anyway, good times. But it's just, you were a kid when you did that. I mean, that's part of your childhood, and they were holding on so tight. They were so amazed and entranced by it that they couldn't stand the new one because they were so they were just stuck on that. Now, I'm not saying that those movies they should yeah, woo, Gungans and Anakin's actor and Padme. Oh, one thing I will say for sure, casting was terrible. Minus Liam Neeson and whoever the name of the guy is, Obi-Wan, because those two are pretty cool. But still, it's just um, I mean, a lot of that is just the perspective of why you watch the movie. What's really the redeeming qualities in that, and it got me to thinking how amazing media and things like that can be to affect fans and to make an entire. I mean, this is practically the like a good portion of the civilization centered around just thinking about a movie. I mean, it has no use in society, and I mean, in the future, whether Star Wars exists or not, will probably have little effect, though maybe not. I don't know. Though it's amazing how, and this is another thing mentioned, for the first time in history, fun has been a redeeming quality of each person's personality. Anyway, and that just kind of hit me. So now and I'm getting kind of off topic, and I might have lost you a bit in there with the childhood holding on and all that stuff. And I hope you're still holding on at home, Hannah. But besides that, it just was very interesting. And another thing, I had no idea there was an actual Star Wars Christmas special. I thought it was just a goofy. I thought it was just a goofy joke made in the white and nerdy music video, and that was crazy. And actually, funny fact, did you know that there was there was a showing? It was like the 5 top favorite Christmas specials, and they were going to show them. And I don't remember if this was a premiere or on TV, but actually, the Star Wars Christmas special blew it away as #1. And of course, there was Charlie Brown and Rudolph, but just blew away #1. Everyone wanted to see it, which was crazy because it was just Wookiees and that one singer. Now I'm very scared of it, and I never want to see it ever. But and it was funny. They were actually getting. I'm not sure if these were actual interviews or just bits and pieces interviews. How he wanted to take a mallet to every one of the Star Wars Christmas specials and just beat them all into dust. Anyway, besides that, it was just a cool little documentary. Sorry if I lost you at all. Overall, here are my end thoughts. First of all, I think there are a lot of things he should have done. The Gungans, well, I think it was like this. He made a separation. Think of this. My 2 hands here are a scale. Kind of a ridiculousness. My right hand here, or it's kind of your left, will be the representation of how much ridiculous funny it is. My left hand, or your right, will be a representation of how much seriousness it was. And in the original ones, it was right here. I mean, there was a good amount of jokes and stuff. There was plenty of seriousness, and people thought it was serious because, you know, it was war, Star Wars in the name. But I realized it kind of separated and made the humor down here too lowbrow ridiculous, and they kept on mentioning, oh well, I don't like farting, the farting jokes and the Jar Jar stepping into CGI poop. And granted, they had no voices like that, but you know, it's stupid. I mean, yes, you had some humor, even with the whole childhood thing considered, but it was never that low and dumb. But then when you got to the serious part, there was like the mini-chlorines, which made it too sciencey, when it was more like a magical force. And it brings me back to extra credits again, which I seem to mention a lot. How it was like, it mentions there's an episode called Technobabble where it mentions how people don't care about the techno stuff unless it's a specifically technologically important fact. And before, it was like magic. It was amazing, but now it just became a boring science thing. But anyway, besides that, and another thing when it got, yeah, and another thing about seriousness, there's so many politics, and there was all the whiny Anakin drama. It was really just boring and stupid. And also, I think, first of all, I just realized, or I'm sorry, third of all, this is my third point, I think. I might have lost count, and I should really be getting to bed soon here, but my third point is, I just realized that you can only get the new kind of in-between edited versions where, you know, like, what's his name? I can't even remember now. Jabba. Or Jabba's all CGI instead of the costume, and he looks kind of creepy and ridiculous. And I realized that I've been using the cassette tapes all this time, and I've never known that that's actually the only thing you can get. And I would sign any petition saying, we want the original, because I like that, and I don't want any creepy in-between generation CGI messing with my perception of reality. Not to say I won't buy them on DVD eventually, but, you know, it's something to think about. And 4, I just want to say that the new movies, well, I have a new light on them, and I love the battle scenes, I love the special effects, and all that stuff, because they're fun to watch. Get better castings. Because, for the love of goodness, Anakin. Such a, I want to save you, I want to save you, Padme. And, I hate you, Obi-Wan, and I hate you, Jedi. And I want to be a Sith Lord and save my honey boo-boo. That was just bothersome. Drove me nuts. So, when they do the new movies, as they mentioned, which actually wasn't in the, when they were doing the New Hope and kind of a forebode of the future, it was in 2009, so they didn't know there were going to be new Star Wars movies. But anyway, I hope they get better castings and a better writer, because George Lucas, while I have, like I said, I have a different light of the new movies, I still think they could have been written 10 times better. But anyway, Hannah, I've never made a video this long, and I plan never to, hopefully again, unless I have something very interesting again. Who knew Star Wars could be so enthralling? But anyway, Hannah, I'll miss you so much, and again, I'm sorry about posting that last video late. And yes, I should be getting to bed now because I have weightlifting in the morning, so yes, football, woohoo, lifting weights in the morning. Alright, bye Hannah.